because it is 6:30, and we'll see if
we gotta get our first thumbs down already.
Yeah, it'll take. Let me see who's going to be first to give us a thumbs down.
That's how our listeners show support. They
Yeah,
give us a thumbs down.
as soon as they log in, they wait till 6:30. They log in and give us a thumbs down, and it's going to be either Rob or Tim. I hope Tim is in. I hope Tim is in the.
Yeah, so you can diagnose his car.
That's yeah. Tim doesn't know we're about to stage an intervention right now.
He has a Jeep, so Death Wobble.
Oh man, well yeah.
Yeah, you're the perfect guy to talk to.
All day long.
All right, we got 2 people in so far.
Yeah, as a potential future Jeep owner myself, I have some questions.
Okay.
He's like, don't do it.
Don't do it. Dude. Well, hey, I'm gonna save you a lot right now.
What's up, Joe K? We are live.
I guess I should have taken my life vest off.
Yeah. Hey, look, McFly.
Yeah.
I told you never to come in here, McFly. I'd like to start a tab. I like a tab. That's what it was. I like a tab. If you want a tab, you have to buy something.
You gotta buy something.
It's Pepsi free is what he asks for.
Well, it starts off with is that what it was? He asked for a Pepsi free, and then he says, if you want a Pepsi, you're going to pay for it. And then he said, all right, how about a tab? And then he says, look, if you want a tab,
Yes.
What's up, Case? All right, we are live. All right, Ken, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1. We'll go silent for a few seconds and then actually kick this thing off. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody. It is 6:30 Monday night. We have Ken. You know him as Dr. Deathwobble in the studio on the big screen in the studio. He's not here in the studio because that's a long drive from Michigan. How are you doing tonight, Ken?
Great, man.
You know what? I'm so excited. Tim just joined us in the chat room. Okay, so what Tim doesn't know.
First, we gotta just get one thing out of the way first.
Did we get our thumb down?
Not yet.
No thumb downs yet. You guys suck. So what Tim doesn't know is we intentionally brought Dr. Deathwobble onto the show to stage an intervention because Tim drives a piece of crap JKU and it doesn't leave the driveway because it's got Deathwobble. I can't know where to go in a Deathwobble. So let's start off with Dr. Deathwobble. Why would you choose the name Dr. Deathwobble other than you're a Jeep owner and you've been used to it?
Yeah, I've been Jeep since I was a little kid. So like you get used to it, and then I got pretty good at fixing it, and it just kind of followed along with that. And now
you said pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. I can somewhat diagnose it, and Corey gave us our thumbs down. Thanks.
Oh, thanks.
That's funny because I've been a Jeep guy, all of my life until I like grew up and got better and could afford different vehicles. So you know what's funny though? Here, Ken, here's the funny thing. If I had the money to go buy a Gladiator, I would go buy a Gladiator right now, and I would trash the shit out of every Tacoma and Ford on the market. It's all dependent on what I'm driving right now, and that changes weekly. But yeah, the Deathwobble thing is real, and so tell me, you said you've been a Jeep guy your entire life. So tell me how you go from a kid experiencing Deathwobble to saying, you know what, I'm going to build my life around Deathwobble.
Yeah, it was one of those that it's super overwhelming, and we get a lot of the Jeeps coming to the shop. It got to the point where I pretty much just got sick of it, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to fix this, simplify it, and then then it's sprawled into all this other craziness.
Yeah, and
it is, but it's one of those things. It's very prevalent in them. There's no doubt.
Yeah, and the craziness is a YouTube channel, Dr. Deathwobble. an Instagram page, Dr. Death Wobble, an Instagram expedition vehicle outfitters, and a business based in Michigan doing overland builds. I mean, you went in whole hog. You didn't mess around.
Yeah, it was one of those that I grew up in the shop. My dad's had a shop for over 20 years, and it kind of it transitioned to where we still do normal auto repair, but our specialty is diagnosing hard suspension problems like that, and Death Wobble building overland vehicles. And it's like, I just grew up in the back of a CJ5, getting used to getting thrown around and all that crazy
stuff. Oh, man. I'm surprised you've got a spine and teeth left.
Did your parents use Benadryl to keep you quiet on off-road trips?
There was the fumes coming through the floor.
Okay.
One time, dude. One time.
Go on.
So, so your dad had a shop growing up, and when did you start like tinkering in the shop? I'm assuming that was early.
Yeah, I was probably 12.
Okay.
And that was, holding the flashlight, getting swore at, and all chasing wrenches and all that stuff. That was, I thought every kid did that.
Yes, that's most of us did. Most of us did.
If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball. Is that a dodgeball reference?
Yes, it is a dodgeball reference. So what kind of shop did your dad have? What kind of work or vehicles was he working on?
Yeah, back then it was mainly just we're in a small town, so mainly just normal auto repair, doing engines, transmission, all that stuff. The crazy part is me and him still work together to this day. So
cool.
We still have a small town shop, but then it got to the point of everybody kind of started knowing us a lot for our Jeeps, our Toyotas, all the builds, and it just kind of comes to now our average customer is 2 to 3 hours away.
Oh,
so
wow.
we're kind of
wow.
Yeah, it's you make a commitment to come to us, but then it's kind of we do our very best. It's kind of fun that way.
In Southern California, that's just like 2 exits on the freeway.
That's like 20 miles.
That's like 2-3 hours. Yeah, it's maybe 10 miles.
It's the next town over.
What does auto repair look like, 20 years ago compared to today? Like,
oh man, it's so much different. Yeah, we used to do so much more rebuilding of components and a lot more maintenance style stuff, to where now it's, we're not rebuilding an engine in the shop or a transmission in the shop. You're putting a fresh one in. But in our shop, I do a lot of suspension work, and then I do all our gear work. So pretty much every day in, day out. Today I was re-gearing a Tacoma.
Yeah, because you need to. I mean, if you want to drive it, you have to.
So you end up going
overdrive. I mean, you don't have to top speed.
So you end up going home smelling great every day.
Dude, I don't smell it anymore. So I'm assuming it's bad. Yeah. Like my hands are still, they get to that color, and gear lube.
Yeah. Going back to gearing, we had an argument. We had a discussion with some of the people in our chat room last 2 weeks ago. If you get a Gladiator and put 37s on it, do you need to re-gear it?
So I drove our SEMA Gladiator with a 3,600-pound trailer on 37s 2 years ago to Vegas and back from Michigan with 410 gears, stock gears. It's a terrible idea. No, you need to re-gear.
Yeah, but he was towing.
I don't
I need to be towing.
You're gonna have to tow. You're gonna have to tow me when I break down.
Well, dude, the Jeep might break down before your car, man.
Yeah, so that we're trying to convince Jose that he doesn't need to go any bigger than 35s, because at 37s he's going to have to re-gear. And the majority of the reasoning before that is I don't want to have to go to 35s on my truck. So if I can keep him at 35s or lower, then it's not going to be Jose can go over that.
This is all hypothetical, by the way.
Yeah, right. Honestly, you can't afford not to, from what I'm hearing.
Oh, the gas mileage?
Yeah, none of that's great. Once you go to 37s, 35 is the adult decision, but
well, that blew out. That's out the window,
bro. I drive a '94 Land Cruiser that gets 10 miles to the gallon. Gas is not a concern. I'd probably still be getting better gas mileage on a Gladiator with 37s than what I get now.
Yeah, ours with 513 gears, 37s, we got 15 out of it once. And that was like
you're not selling me on the
that was going downhill for like 100 miles.
I get 15 in the Ranger, but that's because I have it in sport mode, sand to terrain management, and I'm going 90 miles an hour everywhere I go. So the regearing and the suspension stuff, you had mentioned earlier that the shop you run now is primarily overland builds. Is that why that's the majority of what you're doing right now?
Yeah, it becomes really super niche because a lot of the new drivetrains are really good. Your transmissions, engines, all that, like they need some normal maintenance. We do that, but they don't. A lot of our stuff is upgrades, and it's a lot of choosing the right spring rates, getting everything dialed in for. What we're seeing a lot of is there's a lot of shops that are good at putting, quote unquote lift kits and all that, but we got to dive in a little deeper. So like we have a consultation, we discuss, hey, you're gonna have a kitchen in the back, or we're doing a lot of number crunching to figure out, and that even affects your gear ratio. If you're gonna have this thing loaded down, we might choose a deeper gear ratio versus if you're not gonna have it fully loaded all the time.
Think about that. What he just said. Are you gonna have a kitchen in back? Think about if someone 10 years ago was like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna bring my Jeep in, my CJ7 in, and I'd like to get suspension." And someone said, "Are you gonna have a kitchen in back of here?" Be like, "What are you talking about, bro?" And now it's like a thing. If you're gonna have a fridge and a kitchen and a condo and a studio apartment and all of those things, what's up, Adam? It's crazy to think that. Like I said, I go back to 20 years ago, the CJ7s and the TJs. No one had overland stuff. Like you didn't put that stuff. If it didn't fit in the cooler, it didn't go. And now you're building these vehicles at the shop with those things in mind as a consideration and factoring in how you're going to build that out so that they can carry those things.
Yeah, it's crazy because before it used to be like you know how it was. It was, do you want a 3-inch lift or a 4-inch lift or a sit? Well, now it's like. Now we're running 2.5s in the front, 3.5s in the back. We're mix mac and we're making all these different recipes to control that weight. And it's cool what's happened because everything does perform a lot better now. But it'll blow your mind.
Yeah, back in the day it was okay. I'm going to put a 4-inch lift on my CJ7. Can you get 4 or 6 shocks, Rancho shocks on each corner just because it looks cool? Even if you have to drill a hole in the body to empty everything out, I just want to see all 4 of the chrome shocks on there. And that was a thing. So so I don't know what life is like in Michigan. I'm assuming cold.
It is.
What kind of vehicles are coming through your shop? What's the market in Michigan look like for an overland build?
So, I mean, we do actually quite a few Toyotas. We do a lot of Jeeps. So in a main overland build, we're seeing a lot more people in our state going to an import truck, and it's just slowly moving to that because the truck's a lot better for that work than a Wrangler. But we have tons of Wranglers, 4Runners, Tacomas, pretty much those. We do run into a little bit of Rangers right now, but they're still pretty new for what we're.
It's Michigan, man. We're way ahead of the curve. Like we do things right, and then you guys get to it 18 months later. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, they make the Ranger in Michigan, bro.
Yeah. Doesn't run Fords. But go on with your logic.
No,
they ship them out here first.
Yeah, get them out of here.
Yeah, Michigan knows something we don't.
Get
those out of here.
Send them those idiots in California. They'll drive anything. So
we had our fart guy go ahead and set all these right out the factory ready to go.
I don't know if you heard that, Ken, but a couple weeks ago we talked about a new car smelling like farts, and Matt seems to think that there's a guy at the end of the Ford assembly line whose job it is to just fart in the truck and close the door so that it shows up smelling like a bag of farts.
Ford.
It's a union gig, dude.
Ford doesn't want to give you the satisfaction of being the first to fart in your own vehicle, so they take it away immediately. That's just what I heard.
He probably has a good pension too, honestly.
Oh yeah, he set up a life.
I know. Yeah, well, he better have good medical because what's he eating? Yeah. He's got to have good medical because his insides are completely disintegrated by the end of his shift.
That's a trade secret.
All right.
They'll never let you know.
All right. So a lot of Tacomas, 4Runners, that makes sense. Jeeps, that makes sense. Have you seen many Gladiators come through there? I mean, are they starting to pick up popularity?
They're starting to. We've built probably 20 or 30 of them. We actually have a shop Gladiator. So we bought one of the first ones to come out, and then we ripped it all apart and then we built 2 of them that year for SEMA. So we built one overland rig that was my father's, and then we built another red one that had a YJ grill in the front of it for a company called Steer Smarts, and that got a
cool
Magnuson supercharger and 1 tons and all that stuff.
Very cool. You gonna build any Broncos for this year's SEMA?
Dude, those are looking good.
I know.
I'm telling you, Bronco.
That gets me excited. Like
SEMA is the year of the Bronco. Dude.
I have I've got the one on I put in a reservation, and I've had the guy reach out to me like 3 times wanting my my build, and I haven't sent it to him yet because I haven't decided if I'm going to sell the Ranger. But yeah, I think you're right, Jose.
So what build package are you thinking? Come on.
Well, I'd originally put together the Badlands, and then we had a conversation a couple weeks ago about, could you go with a base and just put the Sasquatch package on it? But I'm trying to convince my wife to make it her daily driver, so I need some amenities in it to sell her on it. So we were like, okay, what about the Big Bend and then or the Black Diamond and it's I don't know. And then we got railed by one of our listeners because none of the information we had was accurate, and we didn't know anything about what we were talking about. And I'm like, you've listened to the show before, you should know that. So yeah, and
did you look into the smoldering engine compartment package?
I did not. Is there a smoldering engine package?
It's
on the Ranger.
It just comes with every Ford. Yeah. That's instead of like an idiot light that goes off like something bad's about to happen. Just you notice smoke coming out from underneath the hood.
The only vehicle I've smoked in the hood is a Jeep Comanche. So that's more along the lines of Dr. Deathwobble. So what does Dr. Deathwobble drive himself?
So I have I have a '79 Cherokee Chief that I built 2 or 3 years ago. That's a fun one. It's got LS in it, 1 tons and big tires and all that good stuff. Then my daily driver, I have a Ram 3500 truck, and like
I thought I was gonna say like some piece of shit Accord or something. Like an '89 Accord that just gets him to work, dude.
Without Deathwobble. Yeah, I like I said, I was looking at a bunch of your stuff, and that Cherokee is beautiful. I still, I trash the Jeep just because I don't have one, but that's still one of my favorite vehicles of all time. I have this dream of getting one of those and just completely restoring it, and making it clean, and that thing's awesome. How long have you had it?
That one, I've had it for 4 years now. So I bought it. We got it a year before we built it once, and then we took it out to Moab for Easter Jeep Safari, and we went out there with it had a carbureted 360 in it and leaf springs, and it was a death trap at that point. And then we got invited to take it to SEMA, so we ripped it all apart and did it all again, and now it's got the Cadillac engine in it, and then it's got coilovers and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. It's a bitchin' Trail Chaser orange. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I think our logo would look great on that thing. And then the Ram. So when you take the Cherokee out, do you wheel it? Drive it or tow it?
I can drive it. It really matters how far we're going. When we go to like Moab, it's 24 hours, so we throw it on the trailer, and it's just so much more comfortable driving. But if it's a trip within about 4 hours from where we're going, I'll drive the Chief.
Okay.
And like I've had it up to 100 miles an hour. Like it's smooth. Like it's stupid. It shouldn't drive as good as it does, but it's fun. It's a riot.
You just made me sad because I want one now.
What is the off-roading scene like in Michigan? Like, what kind of terrain you guys got up there?
A lake.
So,
we're from this side of the lake to that side of the lake.
Pretty much. You can't get lost.
Trust me. Challenge accepted, sir. Challenge accepted.
You just keep going. You'll be fine. No, we have it's pretty flat. That's the hard part. It's pretty flat until we get into like Michigan's Upper Peninsula where there is some good good rocks. We go to like Drummond Island. That's one of the Jeep Badge of Honor trails, and we can get into some decent rocks there. We have a lot of national forest, so we can do a lot of forest roads. That's where we go do a lot of camping, stuff like that. As far as like gnarly trails or anything like that, there's not a lot. I mean, there's some sandy hill climbs and stuff like that. We have Silver Lake Sand Dunes, which is like a 400-acre sand dune area that we can go drive at. There's just a lot. It's really good for camping. As far as like crazy off-roading, there's some off-road parks, but other than that, natural off-road obstacles, there's not a lot.
Silver Lake Sand Dune sounds kind of cool. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, it's pretty. Really.
What's funny is I think everybody, many people have said, like, you don't realize how big the Great Lakes are until you like start comparing them. They're like oceans. They're their own little oceans. Yeah. So I'm looking at the Silver Lake sand dunes.
Are you getting distracted by maps again?
I'm looking at maps. You guys know where this is going.
No, you never know about forests until you see them on a map.
Yeah, I love maps. So where is your shop located in Michigan?
Yeah, so we're right in the center. If you see Lansing right in the center, we're 20 minutes north.
Oh, okay.
So we're right in the center in a small town of Fowler. So it's a town of 900 people, to give you an idea.
Wow. Do all 900 of them overland, or have you not converted everybody yet?
Dude, we're like the only ones. They kind of like...
There's those guys again with that big truck and those big noisy wheels.
They're like, wait, you have a refrigerator in your truck?
Yeah, dude, it is funny because we get like we'd say the local yokel, like the local old guy that like looks at my truck and he's like, why is the tent on top? And it just blows their mind. Like just, but you know, years ago it was one of those. It was kind of like talk of the town type thing. Like, oh my god, and now they just know like you'll come cruising through and in front of our shop, there's just gonna be like you never know what's gonna be, and it's kind of fun that way. But like there's just all kinds of crazy stuff. We have like prototype. We've had some new prototype vehicles and stuff. We just leave them out in the parking lot because like. There's nobody around. Nobody's coming to take photos. Like we had one that like they're like you can't get photos of this. I'm like, dude, there ain't nobody to take.
You're like, trust me, dude.
Like it's gonna be all right.
There's not a camera around.
There's 900 people here. The average age is 65. We don't have to worry about it.
You're right.
That's funny. That is that's so. Because of that, because you've got such a I mean, you don't have a whole lot of built-in customers in your town. That's what you were saying as people are driving a couple hours away to get to you.
Yeah. So our average customer is 2 to 3 hours, and that's like it holds us really accountable because so we gotta make sure hey your stuff isn't messed up, and that we like that though because it keeps us pressure and it's like hey you got to make this right, you got to be really good. But yeah, it's a lot of 2 and 3 hours. We've had them further. Like if you are further and we want to do a build, we'll ship your stuff in. Like we don't care. It's fun that way because it's very niche what we do.
Did you know there's a town named Wyoming in Michigan? Wyoming, Michigan?
Oh yeah.
That seems confusing. Why would you do that?
Why are you still looking at maps?
I'm sorry. I get sucked into the map.
Ontario.
There is Ontario. That's gotten confusing more than once in my life. Growing up in Ontario. So as an overland outfitter vehicle shop. Have you figured out like what brands work for you and your customers in that area? And do you stick with those brands, or is it more of like, here's all of the options on the market and you have conversations with people to figure out what makes the most sense for them?
Yeah, a lot of it comes into we have a good like family of brands we like to use, and we use it on our personal stuff and the same. But a lot of it comes into the first thing we ask a lot of questions. Like it's you're bombarded by like we do a consultation and it's like I want to dial in exactly to make sure what's going to work really well. But there is a lot of the same brands that we use on our builds as far as like SEMA magazine builds, we're going to use those in our customer rides because we use those in our personal ones. So we have good relationships.
Got it. The
go ahead.
I was gonna
ask, like, what's on your YouTube channel? What kind of content do you have?
Yeah, that's all educational. So the whole thing is my goal is for you to be able to watch it and not to say like I could hold your hand and more than likely fix your phone or fix your Jeep over the phone. Like I could we do a lot of it. So we know what to look for. But a lot of it is my goal, whether you have a Land Cruiser, anything, you can at least understand what's going on. Even if you paid somebody else to fix it or something like that, at least you'd have a really good idea because it's crazy. I get emails like we've had people from Spain, Israel, all over places I didn't know they had XJs that they're fixing Death Wobble and XJ. I'm like, okay,
dude, there's XJs everywhere because everybody was
they're called dumpsters.
It's the international shit box. It's the. I love XJs. I had like 4 of them at one point. I loved them so much I bought the Comanche and still loved it. But yeah, everybody has XJs.
I think we have the episode title.
The international shit box.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that. Dr. Deathwobble and the International Shitbox is kind of what we want to promote for him and his business. I don't know that that's the right. Whoa! Did you hear about that Dr. Deathwobble guy?
Yeah, shitbox in all kinds of countries.
Maybe International Shitbox is the next episode, and we find out all of the different XJ versions in all the different countries.
International Shitbox was like the episode when I was getting ready for my procedure.
They're playing at Coachella next year.
Yes, they are. So going back to your YouTube channel, how are you? Is that all you, or do you have help with that? Because I mean, you've got someone filming, it looks like, and then are you doing all the editing, and what's that schedule look like? That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. That's all me. That's all and that's all stuff that doesn't pay. You know what I mean? Like that's all. That's just I challenge myself. But the one thing is, by doing that stuff and doing the educational videos, it makes me learn, and it actually makes me better every time. Because if you can't explain something very simply, you don't understand it. So like, it's helped immensely, and that's pretty fun that way. And it's cool because my biggest thing is though, like if you message me and be like beep boop beep boop, like I like and asking specific questions, I'm gonna send you back to a video and make you. I'll be a jerk. I'll make you understand. Like you need to understand the physics behind this. Don't ask me the specific question because I just explained it to you. And it's like not in a bad way. It's just that way you can diagnose everything a lot easily yourself, and you'll understand it.
Yeah, and so again, I only watched a handful of videos. I now know what my next month of streaming is going to look like. I'm going to be catching up on your stuff. But it's one thing. Like the way you were explaining it was very much in. This is what I'm going to do. This is why I'm going to do it. This is what I expect to happen. This, very like, okay, great. And it like you were relocating some front control arms on the one I was watching, and I was like, makes me want that truck, so I can now do that because I think I can do that. Is that so? That whole the YouTube channel and the growth of that. Was this like? Why did you start the YouTube channel? What was your intent when you first picked it up?
Honestly, maybe that's a selfish way, is to force myself to get better. Because I was like, man, I'm going to teach this, and it's going to make me better. And then it worked. It definitely did. I had to deeply understand everything because it's stuff we do in the shop already, but sometimes you can't explain things.
Yeah.
And then that's what I learned from explaining it. Is like, oh my gosh, I can understand it even more deeply and diagnose it quicker that way. And it helps a lot of people. That's been the coolest part.
It's very cool. Yeah, and I think it's probably why it's growing as much as it is because it's very I don't want to use the term user friendly, but it's relatable. It's very relatable when you're talking about stuff and you're trying to teach it. Not because we've talked about this before. Like we all work on vehicles. None of us are master mechanics, but there's a lot of those YouTube channels that edit out all the crappy stuff and they go through something like it went perfectly well the first time and you're like that doesn't happen, dude. That doesn't make me feel good about watching your videos. I want to see what went wrong. But you know what I mean? I think what I saw was very relatable, and I'm sure that's why it's starting to grow. Yeah,
and that's the biggest goal though, is like I say, I don't want to be vehicle specific because we don't like it. The same thing applies to if you build a custom rock buggy, if you are running a Land Cruiser, anything with a solid axle, like all those Dr. Deathwobble videos will help you right there. They'll help you diagnose it and understand it because a lot of this stuff is it is overwhelming, but if you understand the physics behind it, it's super easy. It gets very simple, and that's where like you don't want to go somewhere where they're just gonna like try to blow over your head. It's like if you can understand the base of it, you'll be good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, what is Deathwobble?
Yeah, so let's say I had a friend with the green JKU
that hasn't left the driveway in months.
Left the
Does
driveway.
the color matter?
Well, and it's in Arizona,
and he's already taken out the drive shaft, and he's already taken out I don't know how many other components,
and he's checked the welds,
and he's checked the welds,
bracket.
And
oh man.
So what is Deathwobble on a Jeep?
Yeah. So Deathwobble is
it's a feature. It's a feature you get from the factory. It's a factory accessory.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't charge extra for it, so that's kind of nice too. I mean, that's not bad. No, so Deathwobble is once you have the vibration strong enough, the strong enough harmonics to take the metal. It's like you think of your steering system as a tuning fork. So anything can be a tuning fork with with metallurgy. It's that we have to have a strong enough vibration in that front suspension to turn your drag length and your tie rod end into a tuning fork it'll vibrate enough to, hey, now we have to stop or pull over to stop the tuning fork. And that's the easiest way to understand it there. Now,
have you not experienced it, Jose?
I do it in the morning. I do in the mornings. I think those are the tires.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
And not to say it's the tires have enough vibration in them to hit the right resonance in your steering system.
Yeah.
So it's not, you're definitely right. It could be the tires. It could be, and all we're doing by fixing it is like the bushings and your alignment specs and all that stuff is we're fighting the vibration. You're always going to have a vibration. There'll be a window. It's just, we want to get that window small. So it's more like lightning strike versus if the window's too big with like tires that aren't balanced and all that and loose bushings, hey, it's a lot bigger window.
And one of my Jeeps, you'd be going fine, and then you'd hit a bump or something, and then the two front tires would be going opposite directions at the same time, and I'd have to slow down and pull over to the side of the road. Okay, now I'm back up straight. And I did that for a while, dude. It was horrible.
Is that just the? Oh, sorry, dude. Is that just the reality of a solid front axle? Like that, you're always going to deal with that.
Yes, it's a Model A. There is a chance for it, and no matter what, like you cannot build a suspension without that because of the way metallurgy is. Yeah. Like all we're going to do is we're going to take that window and narrow it right down. By like, okay, let's talk about my Jeep. It's on 39-inch tires, has hydro assist. Well, the hydro assist grabs that steering to where it doesn't let it. If I had the right resonance, though, it could death wobble. The chances of it are very small.
Why are Jeeps known for death wobble? If it's every solid axle vehicle on the road, why is death wobble associated with the Jeep brand? Is it because people are lifting them and doing things, or is it just because they are built on Fridays?
Yeah. Ford's been run into like the Ford F-250s and 350s.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I was going to say, my brothers had that F-250 lifted. We had a death wobble on the 2 freeway going to Dodger Stadium. I thought we were going to go off the freeway. I swear to God. I thought we were going to die. And he's like, don't worry about it. It'll stop in a second. He didn't slow down. He didn't even slow down. He just kept going.
That was your spirit guide telling you don't go to a Dodger game. That's what that was. It was trying to stop you from making a huge mistake.
Okay.
Dang.
So I think it's just because Jeep, they identify with the solid front axle. Like most of all Wranglers are going to have solid front axle. And
for now,
it's much more prominent.
Dude, they're not going to convert.
For now,
they'll lose they'll lose like 50% of their base.
I call bullpucky, dude.
Come on, bro.
If the Gladiator came out in 2022 with an IFS front end,
they're having trouble selling it now.
Nah, I think that they'd still be able to sell it. People are still going to buy it. And I'm assuming the larger tires and lifts and all that stuff just exacerbate the problem because it's creating more range for resonance or for vibration, and it puts that much more stress on the components. Yeah. And is that accurate?
The best way to think of it is that window. It's just we just open the chances of vibration. And a lot of it comes down to like a lot of it that we get into. I'll tell you a quick one. I would say when they call me up and they say, "Well, I have death wobble." Okay, when you hit a bump, okay, cool. How does it drive when it's not death wobbling? That's my first question is how does it drive? And they're like, does it feel tight or does it feel darty? And if we start thinking of it feeling darty, well, more than likely it was lifted without enough caster. It's just like a shopping cart. Turns great, doesn't want to go straight.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thought process there.
It's that that wobbly front wheel. Yeah. But does there are manufacturers out there that make the beefier, upsized links and steering components. Does that help with the shrinking the window of death wobble?
Absolutely. So let's talk about like the new JL and the Gladiator. They have the same steering. They have a low friction tie rod end in them. So Chrysler switched over, and most all your prominent big brands have switched over to low friction because it's easier on the steering components for recentering and quicker. Low friction also allows for more vibration inside of it. And then you match it with a really thin, so they went to a big size steering system, like the tie rod and everything, but the wall is super thin. And it's just this perfect little spot where like, hey, it likes to death wobble. And it gets a lot of vibration versus like, we'll go to aftermarket with a high resistance joint and then a stronger tube, and it's going to reduce it. And that's why you run like a steering stabilizer on it to help reduce that chance of that vibration. You're always going to get a vibration. It's just we want to knock it down before it goes crazy.
But the flip side on that, going to those heavy duty components, there's probably more maintenance, right? With those components.
Correct. Yeah, so all your components from like Chrysler, we'll pick on Chrysler for this one, and that's where when we start talking about overlanding side, and that's the interesting part because we started discussing like, hey, I can build you a crazy rock crawler, but race cars need race car maintenance, and do you want to deal with those noises and all that stuff? All your joints in the front end of a like your control arm joints and everything in front of a Wrangler is designed for 500,000 miles. So those are no maintenance. They design them to last. But they don't articulate well, and there's certain things that it's a give and take at that point.
I like that.
Can a Jeep make it to 500,000?
I was about to go that direction. They may say that because they know that no one's ever going to get it that far to be like, look, I'm at 501,000 miles and this thing broke. Like they're not going to get 500,000 miles out of the thing. That's BS. That's BS. So I don't know how much experience. So this is a random question that you may not have the answer for. So with IFS though, and I know with IFS, it doesn't have death wobble. It has its own series of things to worry about. But in comparison to the vehicles that are experiencing the death wobble, does the IFS hold up better for the lifting of the tires and the lifting of the suspension and tires and all that stuff with limited issues compared to the
yes, it's give and take. So that's where like a Jeep is. A solid axle is quote unquote cheaper to lift. Well, at first to do it right, you're still gonna no matter what you do. Do it right.
You can put a block on the front end. like you can literally put a block on the front leaf spring. I'm not gonna ride in it.
Just weld some tabs in between the springs and you'll be all right.
They did it for years. I guess, but yeah, to do it right, no matter what, you're gonna have a decent amount of money into it because you need to. We want to get as close back to factory specifications as we could, and that takes a lot of components compared to a $200 puck or something, and then it drives like garbage, and you have a $50,000 vehicle that drives like garbage. I'll tell you what, I had a brand new
it's funny. We have probably I don't know if we're just pissing off all of the Jeep listeners, and there's a couple in the chat room right now that aren't fighting back, but we have recently gotten way
we've been pretty Jeep heavy
pretty bagging on the Jeeps pretty well. But I think if you get the Gladiator, that's going to make it even easier
I'll still make fun
of it.
What else would we talk about?
I know exactly.
We can only talk about how cool the Ranger is for so long. But going back to that, the IF as the Ranger. So the one thing about the IFS is if you take it out in the desert and bash it enough, you're going to have to get it realigned every time. I experienced that in Arizona. It doesn't. You definitely have to do alignments more often than you do on a solid axle, I would think.
Yeah, you're right because there's more adjustable components in the way that those adjustments are. They're the way your control arms and stuff are in a independent front suspension. It's just a little bit. I'm not saying it's not as strong. I'm never going to say that. It's just that. Okay, if we're building a race car with independent front suspension, we're not putting cam bolts or anything like that. And we're just locked. And that's why it's an interesting one though, because you look at the Bronco. The Bronco is the Jeep. It's the Wrangler that they wanted to build, but if Jeep would have built the Bronco, they would have never sold it. Like people would be.
I told you, dude.
You wouldn't believe. But that is, and I hate to, and I've had a lot of true Jeeper. I've driven Jeeps my whole life. The Bronco is the Jeep that
they want to build, right? Or they want to build.
But look, so the same thing was said about the YJ because it had square headlights, and the same thing was said about the TJ when it came out with 4 coils, and the same thing was said about the JK when it came out with 4 doors. Jeep. Here's the thing: Jeep people are whiny bitches. And they're whiny bitches about whatever that is here, whatever they're going to make. They're whiny bitches, and then at the end of the day, they're going to open their checkbook and pay for it because they want to go to Walmart and buy their Jeep sheets for their bed. That's what it comes down to. They are whiny bitches, but they still want to be part of the club.
How did you know I ordered some already?
Yes, exactly. No, I'm just in all seriousness. In the 20-something years I've been doing this, there's always like an article about this. The YJ was called the yuppie Jeep because it had a plastic dashboard, and the TJ was the trendy Jeep because it had 4 coils, and every one of them has been something, and then it becomes the best-selling vehicle they've ever put out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you're definitely right. They hate the new ones. Everybody always hates whatever the new one is. It's like
and Joe and Adam, I'm not talking about you guys specifically, just in general, whiny bitches.
Yeah, but I think the dude, Jeep is synonymous with solid front axle. Like you can't get away from that. I think if they do that, like they're just they're gonna just do another Tacoma or whatever.
If what they would be awesome is if they gave you the option. If you could buy a Gladiator solid front axle, Gladiator IFS, and see which one sells.
And I bet you the IFS would sell more.
Yeah, it would.
I believe so.
Yeah, I know. Trust. Who do I got to talk to? who do I got to be? I want because Casey Curry. I was able to go to Casey Curry's shop, and he has that.
It was before or after you insulted his dad.
Before. This was before. This is before I put my foot in my mouth. But at his shop, he had the JKU that they chopped the back end off and made it a truck bed and put IFS on the front of it, and it was the coolest truck I'd ever seen. If that truck was available, I would have bought it then. But what do I know?
Well, and that's where you look at Gladiator. The Gladiator rear suspension is a Ram truck. It's 100%. That's a Ram truck rear suspension. Well, if you could scale down a Ram truck front suspension, you could easily have an independent front suspension.
You don't think there's a prototype version of the Gladiator with the Ram 1500 like suspension in the front?
I'm certain somewhere. Frank Mercedes and Bob Chrysler got together and they made this bad.
It's what's in Italian? Mario Fiat.
Mario Fiat and Frank Daimler got together and they made a version of the Gladiator.
I thought it was Klaus Daimler.
Klaus? I don't remember his German name.
Yeah, whatever.
But that there's probably somewhere where they made it and they were like, oh, we can't.
They're like, it's too good.
It'll put the JK to shame. We can't sell this thing.
Jose, did they have accents when they said that?
They did.
Did they? How did it go again?
We'll play the audio.
No,
later.
dude. Every time he says that, I've listened back to shows and he's like, "It's so good." Like the way he says it, it's all creepy. Like he's driving through a high school parking lot. It's so good.
Yeah, I thought he was doing an Italian impression.
Oh,
and I just wanted to hear it again. That's all.
But no, I wouldn't be surprised if they had one and they were like, "Let's see what it does," and then they ultimately went with the solid front axle. But I don't know, dude. I don't know how much longer that's gonna last.
I don't know.
Yeah, that becomes a hard one because like at some point you got to cut it off. I mean, at some point you got to. I mean, I hate to say you have to, but like independent front suspension, you're going to get better fuel mileage out of it. You're going to get the Bronco is what you really actually like. That chassis, that is the chassis that would be better for normal use. That's why we see so many people. And the Wrangler is a great option. It's a great vehicle. It's just we see a lot of people going to 4Runners and Tacomas because they're
more comfortable ride.
It's just not to say our Gladiator rides freaking awesome. It has a prototype, very very expensive suspension underneath it. It's just that like at the end of the day, you can independent front suspension.
It's easier to achieve.
We can build 100. At speed, it's so much better. Like that. That's where at the end of the day versus like bending front axles and stuff. And I have friends that are gonna hate me for saying that. But that's right.
I think Jeep prolongs that route with the other offerings they have, like the Grand Cherokee and stuff like that. Those are all IFS like IFS.
The only thing left
IRS.
in there, the only thing left in their stable is the Wrangler and the Gladiator, right? And there was all kinds of talk about the Gladiator being IFS for fuel mileage and weight and all comfort and all that stuff, and it, people were losing their minds, but. I don't know. I think if they just took a stand and went, "This is what it is," deal with it, people would still buy it. And the reason,
what else are you gonna buy?
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say the reason is that if you want a truck and you're a Jeep guy, this is your option. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't know the Gladiator though. I mean, and you would know, Ken, more than I would, but the Gladiator just seems like a really, really solid, viable option for what Jose's been calling the Swiss Army knife of do-it-all vehicles. Would you agree with that, or?
Yeah, I would. The biggest thing the Gladiator does is it's like, I mean, we can put 35, 37s on these things like really quickly. And like my dad drives his, he's taking it back out to Moab in 2 weeks. So he'll drive it from Michigan to Utah, go four-wheeling the whole time, and then drive it all the way back. The Gladiator is a pretty stout as far as like that next step past the Tacoma, that next step past for off-roading. You know, once you get that little bit more aggressive, the Gladiator is just it's more economical to do it that way because of what it's going to take to do that, to strengthen up that independent front suspension. Not to say you can't put 37s on an independent front suspension. It takes pretty much rebuilding the whole thing, to do it right.
All right. So, question: I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
You are like someone in the studio here that's about to pull the trigger on spending a lot of money on a new vehicle.
A lot.
Would you choose the Gladiator or the Bronco?
I'd choose a Power Wagon.
Oh, see, that wasn't an option. You plugged out on that. That wasn't an option. But the Power Wagon's going to cost more than both of those.
It is very expensive.
Yeah, the Power Wagon's bitching, but it's an $80,000 truck to start.
That's a lot.
No,
it's only 65.
It's what?
I would say it's like 65, 60 or so.
That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe in Michigan.
Maybe in Michigan. And let me introduce you to Jose, who's driving a 1994 Toyota Land Cruiser. This is not.
Well, it's not bad.
I'm just saying, anything he made, any at this point, he hasn't had a car payment since he was 12.
Yeah.
And it's.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to keep it that way.
So
can you go 30-year loan on that Power Wagon?
Yeah, I think if you put a bed in the back, it's considered an RV, so you could get an RV.
Oh, there you go. That's a Michigan loophole if I ever heard one. I'm gonna find that out.
That sounds about right.
Michigan loophole. That sounds like
they're playing at Coachella.
Certain move you do.
No, that is not. I am not giving you a Michigan loophole. That's for sure. So there's. If we didn't have a guest tonight, this show would be called the Michigan Loophole and the International Shitbox. Oh shit.
That's good.
So what kind of things is the shop doing now and like the day to day, and then what do you think the shop is going in the future?
Yeah, so we do builds. I mean, I pretty much spend my day doing suspension or gears, one of the two, and then I handle a lot of consultations. Right now, the biggest thing is with COVID, what everything did crazy was trying to project, being able to get parts, a lot of what we do all day long is logistics. Like, we do a lot of work, but it's more keeping all of our clients lined up and like making sure everybody knows that, hey, like your parts are still 4 weeks, 6 weeks, all this stuff. And a lot of that starts with when you call us, I'm very, very vocal about the point of like, hey, we need to like, if you told, I had a guy today called me up, he has a brand new 2021 F-350, needed airbags for the back of it. He wanted to run a camper in the back of it. He needed it done in a week and a half. I said, I'll be nice. I'm not going to waste your time. I cannot we aren't going to get the parts in that time. So a lot of that comes into, just being effective for our clients so they understand that quickly.
Yeah, and we had a conversation about computer parts for cars and vehicles sitting in manufacturing lots they can't get rid of. They can't release because there's a
computer chip
shortage. And all of those things play a factor. And I'm sure everybody else is like, I have a trip planned and I happen to have this much money in my pocket. I want to spend this before I go on my trip. I have 7 days to do it. And, it doesn't always work out that way.
Well, if we can help, we will. But we just quickly want to, that's the biggest thing right now is making sure the ETAs are going to meet. But we do a lot of what we do is planning the build to where, because like I said, a lot of our clients are 2 and 3 hours away. So we get the truck for 3 to 4 days or a week. And it's already predetermined before that. And just a lot of it is logistics so the builds go smooth.
What about your SEMA builds? Are you working on, how do you get connected with companies for your SEMA builds, or are those SEMA builds specifically for your shop? How's that work?
That becomes they come to us. A lot of them we have and SEMA got canceled last year because of COVID, and this year we don't. A lot of stuff gets thrown up in the air to where 2 years ago we built a Gladiator in 3 days to where It was no sleeping. It was horrible. We built it, and then then we have to take it.
It was a Jeep though. Nobody noticed. You're good. Nobody noticed. You don't even have to make it actually run. It's fine.
We pushed it in, and then
you had those Bluetooth drive shafts.
Yeah, I ain't about that life. That's the one thing. Like, I cannot do that. We'll stop in Moab on the way out there, and like we had like one company was freaking out. They're like, if you screw that thing, I'm like, it'll be fine. We'll go do a little trail ride, and then we'll get there. It'll be good. But it's fun. It's just that is a whole new pressure. But we have companies reach out to us where they would say, like, I'll be building one for Caterpillar work truck. Caterpillar, like the big company, will build them a truck, and it becomes they come to us, I build it, and then I work with my brand partners that we're already like they're kind of in part of our marketing program.
If anybody wants us to build a SEMA truck, it's Cody at trailchasers.net.
We use
Cody. Do you want to build a Frontier?
We will use some of the brands that we have to our disposal, and Casey can make some cool stuff. That's what we'll have Casey weld up some stuff on there.
It's awesome. It's fun until the Friday night before you have to leave, and you're like, wow, that's not even a vehicle. And like,
put it in the back of the truck. We'll put it together while we're driving. Let's go.
So that was the one red Gladiator we built 2 years ago. My body guy was cutting the hood in, wet sanding everything in the booth because we calculated enough that we figured out there was enough time the Monday morning that he could spend 12 hours cutting the paint and sanding everything versus doing it at the shop. It's a mess. It's one of those where you like, we don't get like it was 48 hours before we had to leave. We still didn't have a front axle.
Yeah, we had interviewed someone a couple years ago. There, a similar story. They were like, these parts got shipped out separate. Yeah. They met us in Vegas. We all bolted them all together last night, and this is what the truck looks like. You know what I mean? And it's
that's one way to get rid of that death wobble is just get rid of that front axle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you fix death wobble forever.
Yeah. The only problem is people notice when you show up without a front axle. It's not like we can't like. If the lights don't turn on, well, yeah, whatever. But a front end, we kind of need that.
It's got to be a selling point. You got to get out in front of it and like put a sign pointing like
no more death wobble.
We meant to do that.
New prototype Bluetooth drive shafts. Those are...
Oh my gosh! And there's a lot of interesting stuff there when it comes to that. But ours, like, it's just kind of like it's something inside. We won't show up without 4-wheel drive. We won't show up with something like. For the most part, we always we try to drive them if we can, and that's a 36-hour drive out there. And maybe I might have to stop and retorque some stuff or whatever. But we take them ourselves because we really don't trust a lot of when you build if you ship the vehicle, like a lot of ours are big, so they'll charge double because it takes up 2 spots because it's huge and it's silly shaped, and then it's just too much to worry about. We just load them on trailer or drive them out ourselves, and 36 hours kind of sucks to drive across the country. But.
So where do you guys stop on that trip? Like how many stops do you make on the way down?
Yeah, so the first stop, we try to get about 3/4 away through Nebraska, which have you ever driven through Nebraska?
No, I can say with confidence,
terrible. No. Nebraska is the worst, is the worst.
You don't have to sell me on it. I agree right away.
No, don't say that because Texas. I don't know if you've ever been to Texas,
bro. I couldn't even I couldn't even tell you where Nebraska is on the map.
it's up on the right of Texas, somewhere by Tennessee and Kentucky and those things. Oklahoma.
I don't think it's anywhere near those places.
What? It's next to Oklahoma area. It's above Louisiana, right? I'm gonna get it. Make me go to a map.
I'm gonna say it's
near Michigan. You gotta keep going.
It's near Michigan.
Wait, now he's gonna look on the map. Now we lost him. We lost Cody. He's into the maps now.
Nebraska is. Yeah, it's up above. It's above Kansas, which is above Oklahoma, which is above Texas. So it goes Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. I said Oklahoma-ish. Missouri, Iowa. I don't know.
You can't just say,
easy, Steven Seagal.
All right. That you didn't name before.
Look, you know my motto. If it's on the other side of the Rocky Mountains, it doesn't matter until you get to Boston and New York and Philadelphia. Like until you get to the coast.
You're not wrong.
Dang. So as far as the rest of your stops, after you somehow you make it through Nebraska.
Yeah, we try to get to the end of Nebraska, so then it's Rocky Mountains, hitting Colorado. We will sprint, we'll go, because that's usually, it's in the fall. Whenever we go out west, it's either in the fall or the spring. Well, they just had a snowstorm in like Colorado and stuff like that. Well, my dad's going next week. So we always end up hitting a freaking snowstorm in the Rockies, and that sucks. But we'll go all the way through Nebraska. We spend one night. Then the second time, we sprint all the way through to Utah to right around Moab. We try to spend the night in Moab, get up in the morning. We'll go hit a trail or find some. We're only like 8 hours or whatever from Vegas at that point, and then we come into Vegas, and that's not bad. It's kind of fun. It's one of those when you've put so much work in, and then like you're bombing down the Vegas Strip in a rock crawler. Like life is good.
Yeah,
it's like everything is good right there.
Well, and after building those vehicles, getting to drive them for 3 days and play in them, that's got to be satisfying to be able to do all that.
Yeah, there's nothing better than we were out with my Cherokee Chief, my orange one. We were drag racing down the Las Vegas Strip, and like you see all the like the supercars and the Ferraris and stuff. And you got this nasty rock crawler. Like it was fun. It's a lot of fun.
What's the next big build you're looking forward to?
Yeah, so I've got the one for Caterpillar. We'll do the work truck. That'll be fun. And then I have a Jeep. It's a Jeepster Commando that was cut in half and welded to a CJ5, and then welded to a mail Jeep. And then it has, it doesn't make sense.
That sounds like a bastardization of all things good in the world.
Yeah. It's like sheet metal screwed and like booger welded together. We found it out in the woods.
Oh no!
And we're like, it's horrible. But we, instead of like, I guess putting a new frame under it and like doing something new, we just kind of booger welded it more together and like built like it's the best thing. It just kind of trolls people. That's all it is. So then I had this set of Gladiator axles from a Gladiator we built a while back that we put 1-tons under. So I have a brand new set of axles with 500 miles on them. We cut all the coil brackets and the suspension link arms and all that stuff, and we're putting leaf springs on them. So that's going to be like, it's the dumbest thing ever. Like it's not.
And it's going to be everybody's favorite at SEMA.
Yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be really fun. It has moss growing on the hood. It's got like Mustang seats in it, and then it'll have a bed on it. And then we're going to do like a safari-style bed with a rooftop tent.
The person you bought it from, after you made the transaction, did you thoroughly beat the crap out of them? Like just to like...
Yeah.
He didn't buy it, dude. He found it in the woods.
We paid money. Like my mother, we came back with it. She's like what? Like what in God's name do you do that? Like, because I told her after doing a couple old ones, we're like, we're never doing it. We're doing new stuff. It's so much easier. And then we were like, bring it over. I'll do it. It's just so much character. It's so much fun when you get them done. And then like, because it'll be a race car underneath. We put a Chevy LS in it. We'll do our bigger axles, our leaf springs, and all kinds of gnarly stuff.
What would it take to put a Mustang engine in my Ranger?
Man, yeah, that would be. I mean, money makes dreams come true. So
it's just money and time, dude.
It's always an option. Yeah.
I don't have much of either.
It sounds like you don't have a chance either.
Yeah.
No, those things are zippy though. Like they're with a tune and a cold air intake and stuff. That's the one thing Ford that a lot of people, I guess, in the off-road space, I don't think they quite comprehend. Like EcoBoost haul, they fly, and that's. No, none of us else like Toyota's pretty anemic. The Jeeps are pretty anemic as far as power. I've driven the diesel Gladiators and the diesel Wranglers. One of my buddy has that zips. The diesel's got some good power.
For $125,000, it better go pretty fast.
Right, I know.
Have you seen any issues with those eco diesels, like as far as reliability or anything like that?
So my buddy had one down south. He was having some, like right out of the get-go, they had some EGR issues. But then other than that, I haven't personally. But they're not that prevalent yet. And I'm sure I'm sure the numbers are high on sold, but you don't see them nearly as much as now you're really starting to see them cycle in. And I mean, as far as performance-wise though, like on 37 stock gears, he was getting like 24 miles a gallon, and it was inspiring to drive. I'll tell you that much. That was good.
Damn.
Because our gas Gladiator it's all right, but it's not like
it's no Ford Ranger.
It doesn't put a smile. No.
We're trying to tell Jose not to get it, to get something else, but he won't listen. And we're trying to get him to get the Nissan Frontier, the new Frontier. He can't buy a Ford because his wife will divorce him.
Yeah.
Bronco, but
That's a Ford.
well, it's not an F-150 though. It's not.
Yeah, but it still has that blue oval, dude.
Oh, man.
Get the Power Wagon.
They're too expensive.
Dude,
even used ones are like 55 plus.
Oh yeah, don't buy used stuff. You just buy new.
Yeah.
Like the used market is like, and that goes for a lot of this stuff we're getting in. But it doesn't make us feel so bad modifying them when we have customers come in with like a truck that has a lot of residual value, and it doesn't, compared to if you brought me a Mustang and like as soon as you sign the papers you lost, like it just watched the value plummet. At least these trucks, I mean, they are holding their value, so that's a good thing.
That's what I was telling these guys. Like a brand new, Gladiator Rubicon is 50 to 55, and Cody's like, just get a used one, but they're 50 to 55 for a used one.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you go in and you're like, hey, can I get rebate on that? They just laugh at you.
Yeah.
And like,
the finance rate is 3 points higher.
Yeah.
Well, man, I am hoping very, very much so that we get the chance to go out to SEMA this year, but a lot of it's going to depend on what the world looks like in October.
Dude, they opened up gyms here. That means everything's opening up. Disney World. I mean, Disneyland's gonna open up in April, I think.
Yeah, they said towards the end of the spring, early summer.
COVID's a thing of the past now, dude.
If SEMA is open, I want to be there. I want to figure out how to get there, and come check out this. This what is it? Male Jeep CJ5 thing. What do you call it?
Sounds like
it's a non-binary Jeep, bro. Relax.
It sounds like the Jeep version of the Human Centipede, just like a pretty all welded together.
No, I like
get into more detail.
I like the direction Jose's going. It's a male Jeep that identifies as a commando. It's Trans-Jeepter. That's the name. It's Trans-Jeepter. That's the name. We named it Trans-Jeepter. Come on, it's a Trans-Jeepter Jeep. No one's gonna go with me on this.
We're gonna get canceled, bro.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good idea. Have you decided what the name is gonna be?
Yeah, it's a Commander 5, I think. We start. So that was the hard part. Is we had all of our SEMA stuff like going last year. It was like, hey, we were in the middle of builds, and then it was kind of like hit March, and like, oh, hey, we're not doing that anymore. Yeah. Like, okay, sweet. But I mean, it's like a bad week. It was bad because you're like, everything got canceled and you're like, oh my gosh. But then business went insane because everybody was like, hey, like now I want to go camping and over. And we were already building a lot of that stuff already, but it was like boom, boom, boom. And that was fun. I'm sure this year it'll be like 2 weeks before SEMA or something. And I'll be a call and like, hey, we decided we wanted to go and we want you to build us something in 3 days or something. And you can't say no.
Yeah.
Was that surprising to you when the COVID stuff hit, that how much busier you got?
Yeah, we weren't anticipating it. We had a meeting like as soon as it really started, because Michigan is still kind of locked down. Like it's Michigan. We were on.
Yeah, nobody goes outside in Michigan anyways, right? I mean, it's like it's cold as shit out there, and you're like, well, just whatever. We've been in quarantine for 40 years.
Yeah. Just put on a little weight. It's all right. No, it was one of those we didn't anticipate. We had like have a company meeting. We're like, hey, we're just gonna keep fighting. We went through 2008 and all the craziness that happened then, and all this stuff. We'll just keep on trucking. And then it was like, holy crap. Like our normal repair went like, plummeted because people aren't normally driving stuff, but then we call it elective surgery. Elective stuff went like, and it was like, okay, sweet, we can build. And that's been fun because we have like a dozen people right now. They're out across the country. We have a couple, we build them a 4Runner with an off-grid power solution, tent and everything. And they're out doing all the national parks, still working. And I'm like, okay, cool. That like, it just changed everything very quickly.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
It is, and I think I think there are a lot of businesses that pivoted when other businesses were plummeting, and I don't think anybody expected any of it, obviously, but it's interesting to see what hit and what dropped because of the pandemic.
You know what? I'm beginning to think that Amazon created the virus because I've spent so much damn money on Amazon like that. Starting to make sense.
Amazon Amazon, Grubhub, and Postmates got together and came up with a.
Dude, I wasn't gonna name the other two, but you did.
If I were to look at my monthly statement, Amazon's a big chunk of where my money goes every month, dude.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yep. It's
well, they make it too easy.
They make it so easy, dude.
That's the biggest thing. So easy.
It's so easy. That was Jose's nickname in high school, by the way.
It was free and easy.
Oh shit. All right, man. Ken, look, this was a great conversation. I'm so glad that that you reached out and we got the chance to connect. We are if you guys haven't already, please go check out Dr. Deathwobble and Expedition_Vehicle_Outfitters on Instagram and follow their content. I don't think I've ever wanted to go to Michigan, but now you're making me want to come up there and see you in the frozen Great Lakes. So we'll try to, maybe we'll meet in the middle somewhere. I would love to do Moab again.
In Nebraska.
That's not the middle, though. Nebraska. It's not the middle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, even Ken's like, I'm not going to Nebraska. You drive through Nebraska to get to cool things. Like,
I'll drive 12. I'll drive 12 extra hours for you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm good. We'll just keep
Utah.
Yeah, Utah. We need to.
Give me two.
Yeah, Utah. We need to plan a Smoky Mountain, Rocky Mountain trip because we've had a lot of conversations with people out in that direction. That if we can.
Where's the Smoky Mountains?
I don't know. I said it and I wasn't sure exactly what was coming out of my mouth at the time.
I had to call you on that.
I appreciate this.
Oh yeah, where's that at?
I don't. Let me get the map. I don't know. I have to open the map. I have no idea where Smoky Mountains are. Smoky Mountain Robinson? Wasn't that? What's Smoky Mountain Robinson? Wasn't that a thing? Wasn't Smoky
Mountain? Light the Rockies on fire? Call them the Smokies or something? I don't know.
Look, I said it. It came out of my mouth. I don't know where it came from, but you knew what I was talking about.
You can say that again. It came out of your mouth. You don't know where it came from.
Never know where it comes from. But yeah, I think we should do a Moab type or Colorado trip sometime this year to try to connect with a bunch of the people that we've met that are out in that area. So I doubt it will happen, but we should.
It's so pretty out there.
It is. I love it. I've only been there once and want to go back.
I'll even do like the go-to trails like Black Bear Pass, like. All those, like, the ones that everyone does, I'm down to do those, dude.
So from my experience, the one time we did five trails, and it was some of the, like, they're not horribly difficult, no, but they're so picturesque and beautiful and enjoyable. Fins and Things was my favorite. Like, there's a reason why people travel the country to get there, so... all right, man. Well, look, we will keep an eye out on what Dr. Deathwobble and the shop is doing, and if anything comes up in the future and you want to talk about it, you've got an open invitation to come back. I mean, this was a lot of good conversation, and I'm certain the people in our chat room, I can see a couple of them there, are going to need your services at some point in the near future. So anything else before we cut out? Any place that people should go to check you out?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is on our website, Expedition Vehicle Outfitters. And then if you want to see some of the fun SEMA builds and all that stuff, it's Dr. Deathwobble on Instagram.
Yeah, and go check out the YouTube, the Dr. Deathwobble YouTube page. Go subscribe to him. He's got a lot of good content there. Like I said, I think this is my new binge for the next couple weeks, trying to catch that stuff up. So. Well, all right, man. Thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate you coming on and sharing your knowledge with us, and hopefully we can catch up again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks, man.
All right, dude. That was a great conversation, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Now you got me all excited to go out west and go like four-wheeling again because we were getting ready to go to Easter Jeep Safari. We always go every year. Last year we had condos rented and stuff and like lost all of that when they canceled it, and then like. Oh, dude, it was a mess. It was darn near going to court trying to get your condo money, and it was like,
man.
Yeah, so now my parents are taking the Gladiator, and they're just gonna camp out there. Versus like,
it's gonna be
if everything
cold.
got canceled or something.
It's gonna be cold.
It's like. It's a desert, yeah. At night, it's cold.
He lives in Michigan,
dude.
He lives in Michigan.
Is it below 70 degrees? because if it's below 70 degrees, it's cold.
He's like probably at 10 degree and below. He's probably in swim trunks,
Yeah, dude, he's like
and flip flops. Like
he's gotta put on a windbreaker. It's kind of cold.
No, we go camping every year. We do a cabin fever run, so we go in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, and it's usually like -15 or so.
Dude,
it's like,
look, if it's negative, and someone says, "Should you go there?" The answer is negative. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, we were driving up. It was 2 years ago, and on the radio they were saying bring your pets and stuff inside because it was. And they were talking about like putting livestock inside the barn. So we're driving on our way to go camping. Like this is a terrible idea. It is fun though. Whiskey helps. Lots of whiskey.
There you go. Okay.
No. All right, man. Well, like I said, Casey says, you know what's fun to do in Nebraska? Pick up and get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Dude, it's terrible.
So I will. I'll get this edited, hopefully, and get it out Wednesday night. And then, like I said, I'll send you some social media posts, and we'll promote it on our side, and we'll connect sometime later this week and give you all the details, and go from there. But man, I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, thank you guys, and like I say, definitely send me the links so I can get those on social and do everything we can.
Will do, man. Will do. All right.
All right.
Thanks so much. Have a great night.
Cool. Thanks,
Have a good night. Yep. See you guys.
Bye. All right. Let me grab a couple emails here. There was some content. Some content that we were provided. I gotta go dig it up. We got a bunch of voicemails too. I got like 16 voicemails because there was suspicious activity on your iCloud account. I don't have an iCloud account, dude.
Got him. Was the government calling you? This is the government, the U.S. government. We're calling you.
Damn it! There was one I saw that I was like, oh, here we go. These are the ones. I'll work my way up from here. All right, you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, thanks to Ken for joining us. Good conversation. Like I said, I don't think he convinced me to go to Michigan because it sounds really cold, but if we're up in the area, we'll look them up. We got a couple. We've had quite a bit of feedback this week, and we'll start with an email or it was actually a comment on last week's YouTube channel, YouTube feed. It's from Real Rigs Rattle, and he says, "Quote: Why am I even on the show, Jose? On his lack of wheeling, it's okay, buddy. You're just embracing the mall crawler lifestyle. You'll be rocking with that Gladiator."
Exactly.
Wow.
And
that's on point, though.
It's true.
And Austin Hautala says, honestly, the show with no topics are my favorites because it's just you guys BSing, and also you butchered my last name. I'm sure Hautala was not even any better. I don't, Austin, look, I don't know.
What ethnicity?
I have no idea. Well, his first name's Austin, so it makes me believe he's Texan. But then Hautala sounds like it's a Pacific Islander. So maybe his dad's from Texas and he went to the islands.
Dude,
I don't know.
I grew up in Idaho.
I have no idea. Austin Watala. Sorry, dude. Sorry. Rob Flores sent us an email about the best taint shorts for men, and I'm not even going to open the article because I feel like it's a bad idea. I feel like it's a bad idea. And you know what's interesting is both Rob Flores and Real Rigs Rattle sent me a link to this new electric vehicle called the Wolf. It's from a company called Alpha.
Adam sent me that link too.
I freaking want one, dude.
It's pretty badass.
It looks like a Datsun or a Toyota from 1978. It's a two-door standard.
It looks like an old Datsun 510.
Yes. It looks like an old Datsun pickup truck with the Baja rack and the whole thing in back, and it's an electric vehicle. And I just want one. It just looks like a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, did you read the article at all?
No, I just saw he just sent me the link to the website, and I took a quick browse, but. Yeah, it looks pretty badass.
It says it's got a 5.5 inch long bed, 59 inches wide. It's
Jose, you haven't spent that money yet.
No.
You still got that money, like, pull the trigger.
On what? On the Alpha? On that electric car?
Yeah, be the lone wolf.
Exactly. With a wolf.
I got a feel. So it says the Alpha price range is from 36 to 46,000. The company is taking reservations now, but as previously said, it won't start delivering trucks until 2023.
Ugh.
But
they gotta finish. They gotta finish designing it with your money.
Yeah,
first.
exactly.
But the $36,000 to $46,000 range,
it's more reasonable than the $80,000 for the Rivian.
Yeah. And the only difference is like this is a 2-door pickup truck, versus the a Rivian's a 4-door, a lot of amenities, but for just like for someone wanting a cool electric vehicle, it looks, I think just the look is so like Marty McFly retro that I love it. I want it. I don't know that I can get it.
Well, if you buy that Bronco, you won't be able to.
No. Well, I would have a hard time buying.
2023, you have
Cody's
like your normal progression. That's like 3 vehicles.
That's 3 cars from now.
F you.
You could go Bronco, Gladiator, and then the Wolf.
Oh my good gosh golliness. On their website, they have a vehicle called the Jax. Go check this out. The Alpha Jax. It looks like someone took the Datsun B210. No, that wasn't that. What was the hatchback, the 3-door hatchback, and made it an off-road vehicle?
The B210 was it was like the more economy car.
Yes,
compared to the.
So this thing is bad. This is what I want now. I don't want that truck anymore. I want this thing. This is my electric vehicle of choice. And then they have like a roadster, full-on like race vehicle. Like a dude. We got to get these guys on the show. I don't know what's going on here, but I think they're out of Irvine too. Is what I thought I read. Does anybody know for sure where they're from?
No. Should say on the website though.
I'm sure it will say, and they have. I've seen this one, the Alpha little bus car thing, the all-purpose Icon. I don't see a contact us.
Yeah, the Jax is pretty badass.
Is it not badass?
It's like a rally car, bro.
Yes, I want to drive that as my daily. Like that'd be the best daily electric vehicle ever. All right, I'm going to reach out to these people. I want to see if I can get them on the show. And Matt, you probably didn't even look at any of these, did you? Like,
I think I saw the Wolf. Is it blue and white?
Yeah, blue and black. It's like a cloud, like a gray blue. But it's super.
Yeah, I saw something. I don't know if it was something somebody sent me or, I don't know. But it seems like something I saw this weekend.
Yeah, I am super excited about these vehicles. But again, it's going to come down to timing and price. You make the joke that it'll be 3 vehicles away from me, but by 2023,
yeah, who knows what will be out on the market.
I was going to say by 2023, it's going to be a crowded electric vehicle market. Have you seen the Polestar? It's like sports sedan. I think it looks cooler than the Tesla, but it's the same like 4-door sedan. It looks super, super nice. I have no idea how expensive they are, but I just like their style.
The Polestar?
Yeah.
From Volvo?
No, it's. Am I saying that wrong? I thought it was Polestar. Polestar is the name of the company.
But it's Volvo. It's a Volvo.
It's a Volvo company?
Yeah. It's like what SVT was to Ford.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
So that's their version of their electric division
or performance division.
Yeah, but that thing's badass.
But I don't know if we're talking about the same thing though.
Probably. It's a badass 4-door sedan. But anyways, I mean the electric vehicle market is going to be pretty packed at that point, and it's going to be tough to break in. I think if these guys, if Alpha introduces this truck for $35,000, that puts a makes it more attainable for a lot of people.
I'm checking out the Alpha, the Ace Performance Edition. Have you seen that?
Is that that race car one?
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah, the thing's awesome. Does it say how much it is?
No.
I'd still prefer that rally car.
The rally one is pretty badass.
The Jax. I had a dog named Jax. He's no longer here. Miss you, Jax. Well, thanks guys. Thanks for to Rob and Real Rigs Rattle for sending that in. And then, did you guys see anything about the new Wagoneer?
Yeah, it's like 100 and something grand.
It's bigger and more expensive than the Ford Expedition.
No, they're going after the Lincoln Navigator market.
Yeah, they're going after not me. Is who they're going after.
It's not my social club for sure.
It is ridiculous.
What is this? The Grand Wagoneer? Is that what you guys are talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't even bother opening the link because I right $100,000 or something like that.
I think it starts. The Wagoneer starts, I think, like at 75 or something like that, and then the Grand Wagoneer is like optioned out is like 120 plus.
My best friend when in grade school, his parents had a Grand Wagoneer or a Wagoneer. I think it was a piece of crap.
Yeah, I'm looking the
Grand busted.
The Grand Wagoneer Series 1 MSRP is 87.
Oh my god.
Grand Wagoneer Series 2 MSRP 94. Grand Wagoneer Obsidian MSRP 99. And Grand
Obsidian. Are they just running out of names?
And Grand Wagoneer Series 3 104.
104.
Dag Blurn Sassafras.
You're doing pretty good if you're in the 104 market.
I am not
for a car.
I am not in the Series 1. Do they have a Series -12? Because that's what I'm going to need to get. I mean, it looks like a cool vehicle, but it's not even real. It's like fake vehicle. You know what I mean? It's like it might as well be a Star Wars vehicle because it's not like anything that any of us are going to afford.
Yeah, but at that
for
price,
that kind of money, it better be capable of interplanetary travel.
I don't know, but
Star Wars money.
When you're at that price range, are you going to buy a Jeep though? Like, there's so many options at that price point, and Jeep is going to be your go-to. Like,
are there so many options? How many options are there at that point, Jose? Because I don't know. Well, I guess you could buy anything if you can afford $100,000. You could buy anything. I don't know. I don't see that in my future anytime soon.
I'll buy it when like 20 years from now, when it's like 60 grand.
Yeah, no, 20 years. Yeah, it's gonna be like you can buy that busted Grand Wagoneer. All right, we got an email from Brushfire21 that says, longtime listener from Napa area wanted to weigh in on Jose's choice of vehicle and tell Ranger Rick and the Nissan Simp to pipe down on the Gladiator hate. It says, I'm not a staunch Jeep guy as I own a lifted 2014 Toyota with Stage 4 Icon Vehicle Dynamics lift, a 2017 F-250 Ford diesel with Stage 4 IVD lift, and a semi-built 2017 Jeep Rubicon on 38s with a 4.5-inch long travel kit. All of the vehicles have trade-offs, but the Mojave would be a great overall killer choice for him, I feel. Stop trying to make him question his life choices. Look, we've been trying to make him question his life choices since he sat down in the studio. Stop trying to make
answered the phone.
Yes, you should never have picked up the phone that lonely night in October. Stop trying to make him question his life choices. Don't forget his effing podcast is about trail chasing or something like that and the adventure of the hosts. Maybe the show could have a segment on what he does with it, and I'm sure some sponsors may step up and help. Since Jose will be a broke-ass American after buying it.
For sure.
Maybe the stimulus money that is coming for himself and all his kids will make him a nice dent.
I have one kid, dude. Relax, all right?
He's making some assumptions.
Yeah. Oh, his name's Jose. Probably at least
four kids. Since none of you lazy asses are wheeling as of lately, we, the listeners, need actually demand some new material other than yapping about movies coming out, riding through golf courses on a bike, and work drama. Though talking about trucks and comparison is okay and quite acceptable, but at some point, get the F out on the trail and get us some effing content.
That's true.
I was thinking of calling you guys to give you a piece of my mind, but I can't afford to lose any more of it at my age. So with that said, Jose, go buy that effing Mojave and get some tail. Till next time, I'm out. That was
a strongly worded email.
Yes, Brushfire21. Thank you, sir. You're
right. He's right.
Your anger and ire has been well noted, and we will keep our Marvel talk to a maximum at this point. So I think we're going to. Look, dude. I'm not.
Who was that again?
It was Brushfire 21. He didn't leave an actual name. So whoever that's his email. Out of the Napa area. So I'm not trying to make you question.
Isn't Napa like always on fire these days? Brushfire 21. That's funny.
So it's not a username. It's more of a life condition.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit. I don't know. I'm going to. We'll have to find out. I am going to try to get to. Hold on. Let me go. We got some voicemails too. I'm going to open those up and see what we got. So the good thing about doing these voicemails and emails live is like usually I don't know exactly what's coming. So we'll go from there. Let's see. Do I have any more email before I move on to voicemails? I feel like there was a couple. Nope. That was it. All right, we got Allie from Canada again. So let's see what Allie's got going on.
Hello, it's Allie from Canada again, phoning in about my Overland Adventure trailer.
Yes.
Update, I just ordered the Smittybilt Gen 2 Overlander XL tent and the annex to go with it. Hopefully my wife doesn't kill me or I end up living in the tent. I also have my trailer back now from the welding shop. It's got the new fenders. It's got all the jacks on four corners. They actually reinforced the roof rack a bit. It's got a jack on the front now with rubber air-filled tires, so that's awesome. Next step is the cooking box. Hopefully my guy can get over and get going on that. But as the snow is melting up here in the Great White North, can't think about anything but busting out that trailer and going camping. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Can't wait to get that tent and get it on the trailer. Hopefully that all goes well. And hopefully I don't have to sleep in it because although it would be fun once in a while, I don't think it would be cool to sleep in the tent, live in the tent forever. You guys are doing a great job. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Allie. Appreciate that. I am really excited about this because he was building that tent, that trailer on his own, similar to Joe K. He just, he acquired that behemoth of a tent, of a trailer.
Yep.
And he's putting that Smittybilt rooftop on it.
But he needed it for 4 people, right?
Yeah, that's why he got the annex too. Yeah. So I think I'm really interested to see what his experience is like with that Smittybilt tent because it's one of the more affordable ones on the market.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the quality's like or what the how livable it is, and so I'm looking forward to get more updates from him on that. And I think Joe K is probably taking some notes there because he's going to be starting his build soon. I don't know what his plans are, but I'm sure it'll be similar. All right, we got another one. Oh, hold on, wait, who's this?
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Tim with Real Rigs Rattle.
Cool.
You guys have talked about electric trucks before, electric SUVs. Have you seen that new Alpha Motors? I think it's called the Wolf. Kind of like a little mini truck, like the size of the old Toyota, I guess the pre-Tacoma pickup, or like a Nissan Hardbody. Best part is it's looking pretty cheap. I think they're quoting it as like $36 to start. I haven't seen the range on it yet or anything, but it's pretty interesting, like a little pickup truck. You guys might want to check it out. Keep up the good work, guys, and talk to you later.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, like I said, Tim sent me that article, as did Rob, and it says the range estimate is 250 to 275 miles, depending on the configuration.
That's pretty decent.
It's not bad when you consider what a Tacoma or a Ranger or whatever is getting on a full tank of gas. You know what I mean? And again,
how many miles do you get to your tank on a full tank?
I wish I paid attention, dude. I don't.
I live and die by that.
I don't pay attention
by
at
that
all.
Trip meter.
I look, when it goes bing, you've got 50 miles. Yeah. I'm like, I should probably get gas soon. And then it goes bing at 25 miles. I'm like, I'll get gas tomorrow. But I don't.
God, first world problem. I don't even whatever.
It
look, tells me it needs gas. I put it in.
My commute is so short now, and it's not like I'm super conscious.
Your first world
That's not what I'm just
short.
I'm just saying.
I don't even commute.
I'm just saying.
Whatever.
I'm not. I can go an entire week on a tank of gas. Like I don't even. You know what I mean? So it's not. I want to say it's over 300 though. I want to say.
Because how big is the tank?
18 or 15.
Oh shit.
15, 18, but it gets decent gas mileage.
I question all of the shit you just said. All of it. Because I have an 18-gallon tank, and I'll be lucky to get 265, 270 out of a full tank. So there's no effing way.
Yeah, but I'm driving a 4-cylinder, so it's an 18-gallon tank.
Down in that turbo whirling the whole time.
I'm sure. So they claimed 20 to 24 EPA combined EPA of 22. Yeah, I'm probably around 16, 18 because of the way I drive. But yeah, it's an 18-gallon tank, and it says 360 miles for 18 gallons. Which is because I remember the tank is smaller. I think the Tacoma tank was 22, and I remember originally thinking, "Holy shit, that's a lot. That's significantly less gas." I'm concerned, but it's never been a problem because it gets good gas mileage. And if I just be mellow on it, it'll probably go forever. But no, I drive like a jackass. There's a couple streets on my way to work where it's just me and cows. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Edison, right?
But I take a different route. I go around because all the trucks go up and down Edison. So I go around, and that I found this bypass essentially, and that bypass is a good run with nobody around. At 7 o'clock in the morning.
John gets 230 miles with a 30-gallon tank.
Oh man. John, what is that you're driving? Howitzer? Yeah, John G says the same thing. What are you driving? I get what I get. I don't really pay attention to that.
Oh shit, 81 K5 on 35.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Hold on, let me grab my phone because I think that there was a couple other topics that were sent my way, and you guys have been pretty good about helping out. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are sending topics. I wish I did a better job of getting them all pulled together.
You're welcome.
I'm talking to to the listeners, not to you, in any way. Outer Limit Supply, by the way, Outer Limit Supply is having a sale right now, or they were having a sale. So if you haven't gotten your stuff, go get it. What was another
first aid stuff?
Yeah, your first aid stuff.
Oh, okay. Could have mentioned that.
Well, everybody knows what Outer Limit Supply is.
Don't assume.
Look, if you don't know, then you know.
Just because you're extremely close to first aid.
You're welcome.
So was Iron Man Off Road, by the way. Iron Man Off Road was having
St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day sale. Yeah, 25% off on St. Patrick's Day. And then Tim thought he would be smart in talking about getting Trail Chasers gear. I've been getting some. Shit.
Or buy some Outer Limit Supply from Joe's Foothill Safety.
Oh,
website.
there you go. Foothill Safety has all of your first aid needs, and he can teach you how to use it.
Coupon code Trail Chasers, and you get it for free.
Oh shit! Sorry, Joe. That was Jose, not me.
You get 90% off.
Yeah. With a 6,000% markup.
Yep.
I'm seriously. I want to reach out to these people. This Alpha Motors, because this Jax vehicle is just the coolest little thing I've ever seen in my life. It's I'm interested. What else do we have coming up, guys? I know there's a large group of people going out this weekend to Anza Borrego, and I have been sitting in the background watching the text messages go by, trying to figure out how to make it work. Jose said he's going. I am trying to make it happen. I just don't know that it will yet. I'm super close to making it happen. I got a good push in the right direction this weekend from Adam and his wife. Thank you, Adam, for helping that out.
Matt, you going?
No.
It's
Nope.
It's probably going to be cold, and well, I mean, like I said, I don't think it's going to be as cold, but it's going to be kind of cold, and some floor tent camping. So I don't know. It's going to depend. Do you know if anybody's bringing their kids on that trip?
I don't know.
I'm going to figure that out.
Cody, do you want to bring my kids on that trip?
No.
Come on.
I love your kids, but I don't know that I want to be responsible for them for an entire weekend.
Think of all the fun things that could happen.
Or you could come and bring them.
Yeah. Never mind. Trying to get away from them.
Come on the trip.
Yeah, sure. I did get a vaccination on Thursday.
Whoa!
Wham!
Did you?
Yeah, now you can do whatever you want now.
I got some of that Moderna.
Derna.
Who'd you get your antibodies from?
Did you?
That's for me to know.
Did you use a special letter written by someone special?
No, I had a doctor's appointment on Friday, and they sent me something like, "Oh, hey," on Thursday. "Hey, you're due to have like your eyes checked." So I just called and I'm like, "Well, can I do that at the same time tomorrow? I'm coming in tomorrow." And they're like, "Sure, whatever." And I go, "Hey, how about the COVID vaccine? Can I get some of that too?"
Oh yeah.
Well, you have to be in a certain tier. And I go, "Well, I work for Kaiser." "You work for Kaiser?" "Yeah, I have a badge and everything." That was it. They said,
I have a badge and everything.
Sir, that badge looks like it was printed on construction paper.
Word for word. And then she goes, "Well, I can get you in on Monday, or if you can get to Fontana by 2:00 today, I can get you this afternoon. I'll be in Fontana at 2:00. I'll see you there." That was that. So I'm halfway there.
Yeah. Well, now you're 50% less likely to get the vid, and it is significantly less likely to be life-threatening. Yeah.
I feel like I won something. Like as soon as I walked out of there and I got my shot, I was like I feel free, like a sense of freedom.
Was
I hadn't felt
the Rocky theme playing in your head? You're like the champion.
The vaccine doesn't it's not like a clean slate, bro. Like you can still get that.
Matt's gonna be running around. He's gonna be like, "Spit in my mouth."
Yeah.
Go ahead, spit in my mouth.
No, I'm just gonna spit on people and tell them that I have the cure.
The cure. What? Robert? What's his name? The crybaby guy. Robert Smith. Yeah. So I got a question for the listeners, dear listener. I've been getting some shit from some people for not having the Trail Chaser swag store up anymore. I took that off the site a while ago, and I
didn't even notice.
Yeah, well, that's why. So I didn't think many people noticed, but I've had a couple messages recently about not being able to buy stuff. Do you guys? Should I put more swag up? Should I do that all over again, or what?
Put it this way. Should I buy... What's that T-shirt making machine? It's it's big amongst Hobby Lobby people.
I don't run with the Hobby Lobby people, so I don't know what to tell you. Those aren't my people.
My wife wanted to get...
The T1000? The T-shirt 1000?
The Terminator?
That comes to life and takes over the world.
I think that's what it's called. That's what I would call it.
No, I mean, my wife's been wanting to get that T-shirt maker for a long time.
She's gonna say, "She make a shirt that says I'm with stupid."
Yeah,
that's.
I question my life decisions. The Cricut, that's right.
Yeah,
it's called the Cricut. Thanks, Adam.
The Cricut, isn't that the one that cuts out vinyl? I don't think the Cricut.
No,
the Cricut makes stickers.
No, it makes shirts and shit.
Are you
shirts and shit?
Are you sure?
No.
Yes, you're trusting Adam at this point.
I'm trusting Adam, which is.
I don't. I know what you're talking about. There's a shirt press, but
you have to subsidize your income because you're going to buy Gladiator. So
I get
might as well
exactly.
make
I
up
gotta
for
make
t-shirt
a
sales.
side hustle, dude. Start making Trail Chaser shirts.
You only have to sell like 100,000 shirts, and then
Well, no, I just need to sell 5 shirts at 125 each every month.
every month.
But no, here's what you
Yeah.
do: you put up pre-orders,
Yeah.
and however many pre-orders you get divided by your monthly payment, that's how much that shirt costs that month. So it's a crapshoot. The more people that pre-order, the less the shirt costs. So John G says yes, Jose is right. My wife has one.
Yeah, see, it's the cricket.
And Corey says sell hats. So look, I mean, I can go the route where we just place an order for a bunch of shirts or hats or whatever that are the specific type, and this is what we have, and if you want one, buy one. Or we can do the drop ship type where
I buy a cricket and then
or we use one of those like the service, the Printify or TeePublic, one of the service.
I have not been satisfied with any of the ones we've used,
which is why I stopped.
Yeah.
That's why I pulled them off, because like this one's actually been at least a year, and I wear it a lot.
Everything that I've bought has had an issue.
Yeah, and they don't last very long,
No.
and so we can go to one of our vendors and we can like design a shirt, buy 50 of them, and go, all right, this is if you want a shirt and a hat, this is what's up for sale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then put them up there, and then fulfill them that way. Which again, the reason I stopped using those drop ships places is because like
We all had issues.
Yeah,
We
Joe
all-
K bought a sweatshirt and it looked like they barely touched the sweatshirt with the ink. Like you could,
Yeah, mine too. Like the logo in the back, it was brand new, dude. It looked like it's washed 100 times.
Yes, it was not awesome. So that's why I stopped.
If you go to the lids at the mall in West Covina, they have the Trail Chaser logo already like
That's
in
how I
the.
got this one.
So you just go buy a hat there.
Your guy
and have
made
it
this
printed
one.
on the.
Your guy
Oh, did
made-
you? You went to that one?
Yeah, when when Matt got his 2 hats made.
Yeah.
When they embroidered, I had your guy make this one.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. So here's what I'll do. I'll try to figure out a way to do a pre-order. Maybe I'll do a list of who wants what, and I'll see. Because here's the other thing I don't want to do. I don't want to go out and buy 75 shirts
And then have
and sell
70,
4 of them.
have
Yeah.
70 shirts.
Yeah, like not that I'm trying to make any money off of them. I just want to if people want shirts. So here's what I'll do. I'll do in the next couple weeks. I'll come up with a couple designs and I'll put them up on the site for like pre-orders and see what we get. And if people order 10 of them, we'll hit up Air Down and have them make some for us. He always makes really good quality shirts. The Winter Expedition shirt,
the Arizona one.
yeah, the
came out
Winter
good, dude.
Expedition
Yeah,
shirt
those
is
came out.
fantastic.
Really, really good. I just wore that the other day, and I thought,
Yeah.
man, they did a really good job on these.
Yeah, Brian did a fantastic
I
job.
wore mine the other day, but I felt so dirty putting it on. 'Cause I wasn't even there. I'm like, I'm such a
Poser.
fraud. Yeah, I'm such a fraud, and I wasn't even there.
Yeah, I don't. I like that shirt a lot. Casey had his on a couple days ago. I think I saw. But yeah, I'll do that. I'll come up with a couple designs, figure out what people want. But I've had more and more questions about the shop and buying swag. So it's just a lot, guys. It's if we do the drop ship stuff, I have to give up quality to make it easy,
Yeah.
or I have to give for the quality. It's going to be harder work and more expensive. So we'll play it by ear. But I'll put something together over the next few weeks.
Yeah, give yourself a huge window.
That's
Give
why
me
I said
6 months.
few weeks. I said few weeks. So the funny thing is, like, for those of you that don't know, Jose works at my office now in my company. We've been joking about it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but like, how much time do we actually see each other during the course
Never,
of a day?
dude,
Yeah,
never.
It's 30 seconds in the morning. Hey, bro, how's your day going? Everything's cool. If we don't go to lunch together, it's like, hey, man, can you do this, or what? Can you help me with this? Like, it's not like we hang out at work.
No.
Like I barely get the chance to talk to you, and it's Jose sees what my days look like. So I will try to come up with something over the next couple weeks and put out a couple designs. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anything else, guys? Anything else from the chat room or Matt? You got anything going on?
Just work. Just horrible. Just work stuff.
Hey, did your arm hurt from the vaccine?
No.
No?
I didn't have any
Nothing? Like
Nothing.
Man, my arm was sore for like 3 days.
Yeah, so was mine.
My arm was sore, and I told you I had the lymph node under my armpit was swollen.
Yeah, I guess I have a pussy arm.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, can I talk to you after
Come over
the
here.
show?
Come here. Let me see that. Let me see that thing.
Wow. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it, Jose.
Is that the third title of the show? That's the this show has got a lot of that. Maybe that goes in the end. I don't know what to say. All right, man. Well, look, guys, I appreciate you joining us in the chat room and hanging out with us, and we'll put something together for those shirts and hats. And we'll, if we don't see some of you guys this weekend, we will definitely catch up with you soon. Mojave's around the corner. I mean,
Damn it, dude. What is that, 2 months?
I'm just looking right now. So we're
2 months.
mid-March, mid-April,
2.5.
2.5 months. So we're going to we need to start planning now. We need to start reaching out to Billy just joined and gave us something to look at. Thanks, Billy. That's
those are some tires.
That's is that what those are? Those are tires? Man.
No, I mean, we got to are we still going to just do the same route, or are we going to, because they have the Mojave Heritage Trail, right? Which is like the big loop that.
If we do what we talked about and go out there Friday night and hit the trail early Saturday, as long as we have gas, we can do a little bit less direct route.
Okay.
The thing is, like, every time we've done this, like last year, we drove 4.5 hours out there and then had to get to camp by dark.
True.
You know what I mean?
True. Half the day was gone.
Yes. So if we say, okay, we're gonna leave Friday at noon, Friday at 2:00 in the afternoon, get out there before the sun sets, set up camp right there at that big open trailhead area.
Yeah.
And then we're hitting the trail 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. Then we can, as long as we have gas, we can make a couple different side shots. And then especially if we're going to get to, because that just means if we do that on Saturday and we still get to that campsite, that first campsite, which I think we should be able to do.
Because there's still a ton of things we haven't seen, right?
Yeah, there is. And there's that whoop section. And when you cross Kelsosima, that 45 minutes of whoop, remember I showed you, I think I found a way. If you go down Kelsosima, you can come across this way. The only thing is, I don't know if that trail's any less whooped out. We'll have to do it. Maybe we'll do a day run, just go out there and check it out. Corey, to answer your question, we haven't even started the registration for Mojave. I need to reach out to a couple of our vendors and partners and see who wants to participate, what the plan is. We already had a conversation with Nexen. They're 100% on board with whatever we want to do. Paul said he probably wouldn't be able to join us because he's going to be traveling that weekend, but I'm sure from a swag and support perspective will be good. We're going to reach out to a couple of our other partners and see who wants to participate. I'm expecting 25 vehicles total, including us. We will probably do another $50, $60 registration fee, custom shirts, custom stickers, the whole shebang like we did last time.
Yep.
So we'll put that. I would say we'll put that. I'll put it on my list to start having conversations with people in the next couple weeks. I'll send out some emails, and then maybe beginning of April, first week of April, we'll put up registration.
Sounds like a plan.
So keep your ears open for that, and I am really looking forward to that trip. I cannot wait for that trip. It's gonna be a good time. All right, guys. Anything else?
Yeah, usually is.
Okay. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to duck out, and we will talk to you guys next week.